I don't know who I am. I don't know what I am. It appears to be a strange thing for this to project, but it is the actual truth. I know what others tell me who I am and what I am. I know what the mind is referring to when it says my name. I know that when I look around me, there are objects that I can the mind can associate with. You see, but I cannot be separate from the mind. So therefore, there is some sort of connection to the mind and words, language, and names, and associations, and all the creative elements that the human species, or the mind species, or the ego species has made up over centuries. But they're not true. I know this body is existing to keep something safe and secure and free and living and associating. I know this body is not a permanent aspect and that there's something within it that has feelings about it, you see. Whether it's good feelings, bad feelings, it doesn't matter, because these feelings and the meanings of the feelings have been, valued or given some sort of importance or level of greatness or poorness within the creativity of that what has given these levels of value. So all of this is going on. There's no doubt that all is going on. That what it is going on, and some days it feels pain, some days it feels being part of something, and sometimes it feels peace and tranquility and joy, and sometimes it feels illness and a kind of loss, you see. Because there's no doubt that whatever I am, whoever I am, whatever it is that dwells within and out with this body is going to lose this body. And there's absolutely nothing that we can do, that I can do, the one that doesn't know anything, to prevent anything happening in this world, in this, let's say, my world, in my mind. The mind will make up so many stories, so many, chapters. So give so many meanings to the body, so many meanings to nature, so many meanings to the objects, so many meanings. But the mind cannot give meaning to itself, you see. That's why when you say, I don't know who I am, what I am, the mind cannot give meaning to itself. It's the observer of life, you see. It's the observer of its own creative ideas and concepts, and trying to make fact out of something that is basically immeasurable. How can we measure the immeasurable, you see? And I know that's what we do as humans. That's what we've given our names, and that's what we do. We try and work out what is going on. How can we measure this? How can we see how many planets are in this universe? How can we see how many stars? How can we see how many atoms and molecules are in this, keeping this body alive, and how soon they leave and how quickly they return, and which ones die and which ones live? But they're all going on their own, you see. All of this is going on its own. And I think the liberating thing for the body is You don't have to make effort. You don't have to try and understand. They say it's a psychological thing, but it's also a physical thing. You see, when the psyche stops making effort, trying to understand, trying to think, trying to work out, trying to improve, trying to disprove, the mind also feels the benefits of this. You see, I call it benefits because life is so precious. Life is so happening on its own. It's a magical and mystical ongoingness, and just to observe without giving names, without giving meaning, just to be free and able and have the insight to see how miraculous this skin is, this body is, the hairs that keep protected, and yes, I spend a lot of my life trying to understand. But the best days of my life were when I was young. I used to walk with no thoughts, no mind, just walk and walk. Someone says to me, your past life must have been some sort of, what is it? Them that walk the ley lines, druids or Picts or whatever. You walk the ley lines. You see, so you still have that energetic connection to the planet. I don't know. You see, I'm not offended by people who say, well, this is what you are. You need to do this. You need to do that. It's fine. It's just thoughts. It's just a little genuine puffs of energy to try and get you back onto the track of learning and improving, and it's not a conspiracy. It's just that's what humans have created ourselves to do. We're desperate to know. The mind is desperate to know what's going on. The mind is desperate to know what it can do to prevent certain things, the body dying, the planet dying. So it seeks and searches ways of trying to stop the inevitable, you see. And our weakness is, well, we have to try, you see. So trying is going against the grain of just what being is, you see. For myself, it's wasted effort, wasted energy. I'm not saying you don't stop building houses and schools and all that stuff. But the extras, the add-ons, the apps. My life is full of apps. You see, I don't even have to. I don't even have to think anymore, because I can say, what is the best way to be a father, and I can chat GPT, and it tells you this is how to be a father. But it's just someone inventing something to try and make life easier for us. And the easiness of life is the most precious thing. The easiness of just being here is so enlightening. It's so free and liberating. And of course, we're not always going to be sitting saying it's great, it's just okay, it's just peace, it's tranquility. Because certain aspects, this body will fail. This body will maybe pick up illness. This body will be affected by our change, our intentional change, whether it's intentional or unintentional, or whether it's good intention or bad intention. It's just what we do. We're not trying to kill each other and make things miserable for each other. We're caught in a trap of, we have to do something to understand who we are and what we are. And the greatest words that make sense to me is this: in this one moment that this voice says, you'll never find out what you are. You are truly impeccable consciousness, if that's what you want a word to describe what you are. But consciousness is vast, it's infinite. It has no beginning and end. So you always are appearing as what you are meant to be. but you'll never understand the fullness. The human says, okay, I am a human. And that's what we say, I'm meant to be a human. And that's kind of true in the sense that that's what we know. Words, descriptions, identities, that's what we know. But it's just a made up, way to pacify, and hopefully this God will come and say, yeah, you got it right, you're a human. This God is just consciousness in its whole. God itself doesn't know what it is. It's just appearing and disappearing. Like this body is appearing and one day it will disappear. And it's not the end of the world, you see, for the mind. The mind will continue to look for the victims. If you want to say it's a nasty life, I'm a victim. Or it will look for further opportunities. If you want to say it's a positive life, then I want to be another opportunity. But there's no effort into trying to understand anything about myself, and even the religions that are behind it. You see, you have experiences of Buddhist practices, or Zen philosophies, or Christian, Christ, visitations. That's experiences of being one. You see, but that doesn't mean to say you have to, lie down to the ground and die to Christianity or Hinduism or whatever. It means, yes, it's okay. It's okay to just allow Christianity, Hinduism, whatever it is, to enter your very space. But it won't harm you. It won't affect you. It won't change you. It won't make something spectacular out of you. Because consciousness is doing that on its own, with no names, with no religious relationships or spiritual relationships or science relationships. This is pointless talk for you, you see. We all want to spend our lives finding out more things about God, more things about spirituality, more things about myself, where I'm going, where I came from. And that's the whole point. The whole point is, it is what it is, you see. All is as it is. Is being that foundation of God, that foundation of male and female, that foundation of I, the maple, and S, the ribbons, that foundation of the beginning of mind trying to understand what it will never understand, you see. It's great not to know anything. It's great not to understand. But that's this body's interpretation of what it feels and experiences every day, every moment of my life. I can go through life and pretend, we're all pretending. I can pretend in my workplace that this is what we do it, this is what we've done, because I've been trained into doing that. It's just a juxtaposition. I'm nothing, and every now and every time the mind says, let's be something, I can be something. I can be anything I want, says the mind. Because I see you as the whole concept. Mind sees whatever I am as the whole concept. I can make whatever I want out of you. And I'm as this space, this nothingness, this emptiness says, yeah, go for it. Do what you have to. Do what pleases you. And that's what's taking place. Mind is just doing what it wants with the hand. It's doing what it wants with sitting here. It's doing what it wants. But it's not affecting. It's not being infected by the brain to say, okay, enough of this bullshit. Let's go do something worthwhile in this life. Oh my God, what a waste of time. We've only got one body. This is so important. What are they going to remember you by? All this stuff. And it's happening. But it's having no effect on whoever I am.